You have fatty liver and you want to know which supplements help to reverse it. There are only 3, and in this video, you'll learn what they are. But before we jump in, let me clarify a couple of myths. One is that supplements don't work. To believe this myth would be ignoring a mountain of evidence to the contrary. Now, that's not saying that every supplement works or that every supplement works for every person. That's not the case. There are lots of supplements that are ineffective. But to say that 100% of supplements are ineffective is simply incorrect. The second myth is that you need to make nutritional changes first. The rhetoric goes that nutritional supplements are meant to supplement an already good diet. Now, I strongly disagree with that. You can have supplements and have a bad diet and you'll have a slightly better health outcome. Why? We know that supplements work in the absence of any changes to health outcomes, to dietary changes. And the way we know that is because when researchers conduct studies, they ask the participants, the subjects, to just take this supplement and don't make any other changes. And the reason they do that is because they want to be able to isolate the results to just the supplement. After all, if you change your supplement and your nutrition, well, what caused the change? Was it the supplement or is it the diet? We don't know. So that's why they tell the participants, just take the capsule. Don't do anything else. And that's one reason why you don't need to make dietary changes. But another one is from just a compliance perspective. From a behavior change perspective, you get the best changes when change is easy, not difficult. To tell a person, change everything about your diet, change the way you've been eating the last 40, 50, 60, 70 years, it's going to be very difficult. Tell a person, take a pill or powder, very easy. You're going to get close to 100% compliance. So these are 2 very common myths about supplements, which leads me to 3 reasons why I really like supplements. One is that exact issue, the compliance issue. It's much easier to just take a pill than to change your entire diet. Another one is effectiveness. Again, even in the absence of any changes in exercise, nutrition, medications, etc., supplements work. Again, not every supplement works, but some supplements work consistently, predictably, etc. And the third one is speed. You get better changes when you combine exercise with nutrition, with supplementation, and either one by themselves. Now, with that out of the way, let's talk about the supplements that actually reverse fatty liver. Now, by the way, if you're wondering, why these 3? What about this other one that I heard about? We'll get to that at the end of the video, why those supplements that you think reverse fatty liver don't actually do it. So stay tuned for that. The first supplement that I'll discuss is good old fish oil. Nothing fancy, nothing sexy. It's been around for decades, but it's one of the most potent supplements for fatty liver, as well as a bunch of other things. In one meta-analysis, they found that a general reduction in fatty liver of 4.34%. This is almost on par with the reductions you see with exercise, and you don't have to exercise. All you have to do is just take some fish oil. However, that's an average reduction. You have larger reductions if your baseline levels of liver fat were higher, if you used higher dosages than what's typical. So what's the required dosage of fish oil? It's about 5 grams per day, or the equivalent of 1 teaspoon per day. Now, if you're wondering, how does fish oil reduce fatty liver? One is that it's anti-inflammatory. Inflammation is one of the key drivers of fatty liver. Another mechanism is that it increases fat burning in the liver. Now, don't get excited, it burns liver fat, not body fat. So you can't just take fish oil, eat 10,000 calories per day and lose body fat. It doesn't really work that way. But these are 2 major mechanisms by which fish oil reduces liver fat. Another great supplement for fatty liver is vitamin E. In one meta-analysis, vitamin E supplementation reduced liver fat by 5.02%. The typical dose for vitamin E is between 400 and 800 IUs, international units, per day. Now, how does it reduce fatty liver? What are the mechanisms? One is that vitamin E is an antioxidant in and of itself. It reduces free radicals, which reduces inflammation. Part of the damage of fatty liver is that fat can go rancid. So it's not just that there is fat, but the fat becomes rancid. Vitamin E helps prevent the rancidity of the liver fat, but it also helps the liver get rid of the fat. Another mechanism of vitamin E is that it improves insulin sensitivity. And it's the opposite of that, insulin resistance, that is one of the key drivers, the key causes of fatty liver. And the third effective supplement for fatty liver is curcumin, which is an extract from turmeric. In one study, 56 people with fatty liver were divided into 2 groups. Group number 1 received curcumin, group number 2 received a placebo. After 8 weeks, group 1 reduced their liver fat by 10%. Group 2 that received a placebo only reduced it by 1%. The dose of the curcumin ranged from 500 to 1500 milligrams per day, or 500 3 times a day. Now, how does curcumin reduce liver fat? It has similar mechanisms to the previous two, to fish oil and vitamin E. One mechanism is that it has antioxidant properties and therefore is an anti-inflammatory. And like fish oil, it increases fat burning in the liver. Again, that's just in the liver, not in the body fat. The last mechanism that's unique to curcumin that doesn't occur with vitamin E and fish oil is that it decreases the fat formation. So unlike the other two, that they increase fat burning, this one actually decreases the formation of fat in the liver. Now, if you like this information, we have lots more information just like this in my free exercise and nutrition newsletter. If you click on the link in the description below, you'll be able to subscribe to it, and you can always unsubscribe at any time. Now, if you're wondering, what about berberine, or what about milk thistle, or phosphatidylcholine, or any other vitamin, mineral, amino acid, etc.? What about that for fatty liver? And here's the reason they're not included in the effective sections of this video. A lot of the other supplements are based on bad science. I talk about this in my book, Fatty Liver Reversal Secrets, how the only two really accurate diagnostics for fatty liver are the number one, a liver biopsy, and number two, an MRI. Using other diagnostics like liver enzymes, CT scans, or ultrasounds are not that accurate. So unless a supplement was studied using an MRI or liver biopsy, it's either disproven or unproven. And that's why I haven't included all the other common supplements for liver in this section on effective supplements. So we want to use studies using only liver biopsies or MRIs. Another reason these other supplements were not included is very often research done on them is not in people, it's done in rats, mice, or petri dishes. You can't generalize from those to people. In science, a key principle is generalizability. You can only generalize to the population studied. In other words, if you only do research in diabetics, you can only generalize to diabetics. You can't generalize to non-diabetics. You can't generalize to pre-diabetics. You can only generalize to diabetics. Another reason why I may not have included a certain supplement is it might have improved liver fat, but not by a very meaningful amount. It's not a binary case of yes, it improves liver fat, or no, it doesn't. The real question is how much. If it improves liver fat by 0.5%, well, that's not clinically meaningful. It might be statistically significant, but not clinically significant. And so I've only included supplements that reduce it by a very significant extent. And lastly, research on a lot of these supplements is only mechanistic evidence. There is a mechanism by which it could improve liver fat, but the end point of actual liver fat in humans was not studied. Because of that, a lot of recommendations for liver fat supplements are based on bad science. If you like this video, I have an entire book called Fatty Liver Reversal Secrets. It talks not just about which supplements are effective, but also which ones are ineffective, and more importantly, which ones are unproven, which ones do we not know about. In addition to supplements, it also talks about nutrition, diagnostics, and exercise for fatty liver. Click the other link in the description below to get a copy of one of my books on Amazon. Thank you and goodbye.